Let's do an exercise. I want you to think about the features on your face and your body that you currently dislike. I'm sure that you, as all of the rest of us do, have features on your body that you dislike and you don't know how to fix it, or you can't fix it at all because it's permanent. In today's video, we're gonna talk about living with facial and body features that we dislike and how to overcome it. Welcome back to Reva Beauty Channel, where we discuss all things makeup and lashes for small eyes. My name is Misha. Let's get right into it. Let's just be honest. As women, we all have things about ourselves that we dislike. When we start getting into things like the beauty standards and social media and editing and makeup and filters and things like that, it's so easy for us to start to feel insecure about ourselves. A survey conducted by Dove found that 80% of women feel insecure about their appearance. So let's talk about some common features that women dislike. This ranges from things like skin texture, acne scars, your body shape, so things like curves, flatness, and also things like facial features. People may be insecure about certain things on their face, including maybe their eyes, their lips, how big or how small their lips are, their nose. And it should not be surprising that there have been multiple studies done about the effects that social media has on women's perception of themselves. It has actually been reported that increased exposure to social media actually makes women more dissatisfied about themselves. I'm gonna give some personal examples of some of my features, and I'm gonna break it into the categories of things that I was able to change versus things that I am just born with and can't necessarily change. So things that I may not have been completely happy or satisfied with personally were things like my skin. I used to have pretty bad acne. My face tends to scar very easily. Since I was a teenager, my weight, would fluctuate up and down. Those are things that, okay, I did have the ability to change, but then I have some things that I was literally born with and I couldn't change unless I went and got like plastic surgery or something. And that would be like my body shape and my hair thickness and the size of my nose, size of my eyes. And these are the kind of things that I often would feel insecure about. But over time, I started to adopt the mindset of, okay, even though I may not be as confident about these different features that I have, I've learned and figured out ways that I can either fix some of these things that I didn't like or ways that I can enhance it. So we're just gonna talk about some of those different ways. Before we can go changing anything physically about ourselves, we first have to start with the mental. Number one, you have to know who you are inside. You have to know who you were created to be. Some encouraging Bible verses that talk about this are Jeremiah 1:5. And it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." This verse is basically telling us that God, our creator, he already knew us before we were even formed. Before our parents even conceived us, he already knew us. That means that we're capable of having an identity even before we were born, right? So that just shows that the way that we look and our features and things like that is not what's supposed to shape our identity, right? But our identity is supposed to come from our creator. Another scripture is Psalms 139:13-14. It says, "For you created my innermost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well." Okay? That scripture says that we were made wonderfully. Even from when God was forming us and we were being grown in our mother's womb, we were already made wonderfully, right? Before all of these features, before we were even born, we were already created to be wonderful, okay? So we really have to understand that before we go changing ourselves, blah, 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 because what'll happen is we'll go and we'll start making all these changes and we'll never be satisfied. We see people who they'll start getting plastic surgery, but then they'll keep going and keep getting the plastic surgery until they don't feel good about themselves at all, and they look worse than before they started. So that just shows that this thing is more of a mental thing, right? It's way more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing. So first we have to know who we are. We have to know who we were created to be, and be happy and be firm in that before we start making all of these outward changes. And something that we also have to remember is that when we die, this body goes into the ground and it's no more. So we have to also focus on what's inside, right? Looking at how can we change our character? Where are there character flaws that maybe we want to change? Things about our personality that may not be the best that we can change, you know? Maybe we have a lot of negative thoughts and have a lot of negativity going on inside. What's interesting is you could have the most beautiful person, but if their insides are not beautiful and their insides are not together, it's going to eventually reflect on the outside. So we have to, number one, know our identity. And number two, work on the inside and change it and making the inside beautiful, and eventually that will radiate on the outside. So now let's talk about the physical, how we can begin to enhance and change our physical features that we may not like. Let's first start with the things that we can change. And I know that I'm not going to cover everything, so please let's have a conversation in the comments and drop some other things that I don't cover, but I'm going to mostly hit on the things that I've dealt with personally. So number one, a lot of women may feel insecure about skin and skin texture and things like that. I know for me personally, I had really bad acne. I scar easily and things like that. But what I did was I went and found a skincare regimen that helped me get rid of my acne. And even now my face isn't doing all that good, but I have over the years come up with a regimen that I know will knock out all of the acne and start to get rid of the dark spots. So because of that, I'm not as insecure about my skin because I know that I have a solution. If that's something that you're insecure about, your skin texture, acne and things like that, I mean, there are so many things that you can do. You can go to a dermatologist, you know, you can look up acne clearing regimens, or you can use a chemical exfoliant to begin to get rid of some of that hyperpigmentation and dark marks. Another thing that I felt insecure about and I didn't like was my weight. Ever since I was a teenager, my weight would just fluctuate, go up and down. My relationship with food was always kind of unstable. So I would struggle with weight issues where I didn't like the way that I weighed. I didn't like the way that my body looked. And, you know, luckily that is something that we can change, right? I mean, provided that you don't have any kind of sickness or hormonal issues, because I definitely am familiar with gaining weight due to hormonal things, but provided you don't have anything like that, you can find a workout regimen that you like. And I really emphasize that you like, because whatever workout regimen you like, you're gonna be able to stick to. So finding a workout regimen that you enjoy, finding ways that you can adjust your diet so that it helps with your weight loss or maintaining a certain body weight. So I'm not saying going and doing anything drastic, because I've done that. When it comes to weight, I'll do things drastic. I'll lose weight quick, but then I'll gain it back. It's really all about finding something that you can really stick to and be consistent. You can go on things like Pinterest. I've been on Pinterest lately looking for workouts that I can do in the gym. You can walk, you can drink more water. Just more water helps to reduce fat. So you want to look for little changes that you can make that you can really be consistent, and those things will help you just to feel better, and also you'll eventually start looking better. So now I want to move on to the features that you may have that you can't change. So for me, I can start with my nose. I never hated the size of my nose, but sometimes it's not the nose that fits into the typical beauty standards. That's just put it that way. To me, my nose felt like it stuck out a lot. I used to get bullied in school about it, right? But one of the ways that I could enhance it if I wanted to is I can contour. There is makeup available to do that. I don't do it. I never do. It's just something that I decided to accept. And I mean, that's really one tip right there, is deciding that you're just going to accept it. You just let go and accept, this is the way God made me, so I am just going to accept that this is the way God made me. The number two thing that you can do about features that you dislike is look for things that are actually beautiful about it. Like, look for positives about that particular feature. So for me, I don't really like the size of my eyes. I wish that I had bigger eyes, and when I don't have makeup on, eyes look extra small. But as I started to learn more about eyes and learn more about eye shapes, I learned that I have something called almond eyes. And if you're interested in learning your eye shape, I actually have a video about that. But I have almond eyes, and almond eyes are known to be the most universal eye shape and can accommodate a variety of makeup looks and lashes, right? So that is a positive. Even though I have small eyes, I can do a lot with them, right? So look for the positives in the feature that you dislike, because more than likely there is a positive, and it's something that actually makes you unique. Number 3, look for ways that you can enhance the feature. Maybe this feature isn't something that you can necessarily change because it's something that you were born with, but maybe there's a way that you can enhance it. One of the features that I had that I can't really do anything about, but figure out a way to enhance it, was my body shape, okay? Yes, I can manipulate my weight and things like that, but one thing we are born with and that we can't change unless we get plastic surgery is our body shape. And I have what they call an apple body shape. I tend to collect the weight in my midsection. Beauty standards say that you gotta have a slim waist and all of these things, but unfortunately, I tend to hold a little bit more weight in my midsection. Okay, well, how can I enhance this? There's ways that you can dress your body to draw attention away from parts that you dislike and then draw attention to parts that you do like. For example, with the apple body shape, they say, okay, you want to draw attention to your legs. Maybe you want to draw attention to your neckline by wearing clothes in a certain way, and also wearing those clothes to now draw attention away from the midsection. So there's strategies for this that even though my body is going to do what my body is going to do as far as the way that is shaped, I can now go on Pinterest, or I can Google apple body shape outfits and apple body shape clothes and things like that to help enhance this body shape. Another thing that I would feel insecure about is my hair density. I have like a medium to low density hair, which would make my hair look very thin and not very full. What I did to deal with that and combat that was I got these Sisterlocks, and this style naturally helps my hair to look like it has more volume and have more body. I took a feature that I had, I couldn't do anything about it. I got a style that I really like to help give the effect that I was looking for. And another thing is my eyebrows. I have naturally thin eyebrows, so I went and got micro shading, or you can learn to do your eyebrows, you know, the eyebrow pencil to help to give them the shape that you want. When it comes to facial features in general, that's what makeup is for. They say, oh, I'm not really a makeup person, but to me, makeup is a way that you can enhance and bring your features out even more. It's not something you have to wear every day, but it is a tool that has been created to help us to enhance our features. I hope you were able to gain something from this video to help you to have more confidence in the way that you were made and in those features that you may have disliked. I hope you will walk away from this video with a brand new perspective. So if you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.